Babes, we are back. And babes, once again, the YouTube gods have blessed us with another early drop.
Truly a blessing.
Like, honestly, thank you, universe. We feel chosen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And babes, we love you. And happy Friday.
Happy Friday to the entire Snark Squad.
Because by the time most of you hear this, it is officially the weekend. And babes, we made it.
We barely made it, but we are here. The iced coffee coursing through my veins is the only thing keeping me upright right now. But the Friday energy is immaculate.
It really is. Okay. And speaking of weekend energy, babes, we have an amazing weekend planned in Salem.
Oh, I'm so ready.
Witchy vibes, spooky energy, a little chaos, a little mystery. Like, babes, this is literally our brand. We are so excited. I have packed so much black clothing, it's not even funny.
I mean, I have 3 different pairs of boots that all give off varying degrees of unapproachable coven leader, and I fully plan on wearing all of them. I want to walk down those cobblestone streets looking like I hold secrets that could ruin local governments.
Yes, I am so ready to just point a completely uncharged crystal at anyone who annoys me. And to all of you listening, we hope you have the most amazing weekend too. But obviously, we had to check in with the universe first.
We always have to check the stars.
Babes, it is time for your messy weekend horoscope.
The planets are in complete disarray, and honestly, they are choosing violence this weekend.
They really are. Okay, so someone out there listening right now is about to drunk text an ex and immediately regret it. I am looking directly at the Cancers.
Put the phone down.
Literally hand your phone to a trusted friend or put it in the freezer.
Seriously, if you are a water sign who insists on feeling your feelings at 1 in the morning after 3 overpriced margaritas, just know that when they reply with, "Who is this?" the embarrassment will haunt you for a decade. The digital footprint is forever. Your dignity is temporary.
The absolute shame. Okay, next prediction. Someone is about to have a massive main character moment at brunch this weekend.
Oh, the brunch diva.
Yes, like sending back the mimosa because the orange juice ratio is off, wearing giant sunglasses inside, just demanding the spotlight.
Let me just add some analytical realism to that. Your main character energy usually just means you are severely inconveniencing a waiter named Chad, who is just trying to pay his electric bill.
Poor Chad.
Right. You aren't starring in a rom-com. You are just creating a hostile work environment. Tip 20%, please.
Tip your servers, babes. Okay, third prediction. Someone is aggressively ignoring red flags right now just because the vibes are quote-unquote fun.
The selective blindness is wild.
Like, you know he doesn't own a bed frame. You know he uses a 3-in-1 body wash that doubles as car wax, but he has a boat, so you're just pretending to be blind.
Enjoy the pontoon ride, I guess. Your therapist is going to need a whiteboard to map out this dynamic next week.
A literal whiteboard. Okay, next. Someone is about to spend money they absolutely do not have.
The girl math is failing them.
The credit card is screaming, but that matching set is calling your name, and you're telling yourself it's an investment piece.
It is always an investment piece until the statement arrives on the 12th and you realize you just financed a 3-second hit of dopamine.
So true. And finally, someone is entering their villain era just for the weekend. And babes, I fully support this.
I mean, same.
Leave them on read. Say no to the plans you didn't even want to go to. Be the villain.
Honestly, a weekend villain era is usually just basic boundary setting with a dramatic PR spin. You're just refusing to be a doormat, but calling it a villain era sounds way more glamorous.
It's all in the branding. Okay, but babes, before coming to the studio tonight, we met up at your apartment and decided to cook dinner like actual adults.
Which was our first mistake.
And when we tell you the chaos that went into making this garlic chicken pasta...
It was less of a dinner prep and more of a localized hostage situation in my kitchen.
I'm still sweating. First of all, we got back from the store and realized we completely forgot the heavy cream. How do you make a cream sauce without cream?
You don't. That's just dry pasta.
So I had to run all the way back to the store, and I left you alone to prep the garlic.
And let me just say, recipes that tell you to mince 2 cloves of garlic are written by cowards. 2 cloves is an absolute insult to the culinary arts.
But wait, I came back and we had a massive fight over what is too much garlic. I was just aggressively chopping an entire bulb.
It was a concerning amount of alliums.
And you were acting like the health department, telling me we were going to sweat garlic through our pores the entire Salem trip.
You were treating the garlic like the main protein, and then the pan started aggressively smoking. The timing was completely off. The chicken was arguably still legally alive in the middle.
I thought the smoke alarm was going to ruin my life, but the end result... Babes, incredible! Like chef's kiss. Gordon Ramsay who?
It was shockingly phenomenal. The garlic caramelized perfectly, proving that sheer chaos sometimes yields great results.
It really does. But we did consider, just for a second, making Mama June's famous sketty.
Just hearing the word sketty causes a visceral reaction in my nervous system.
Babes, it's iconic.
It is a crime. We are adults. We are dental professionals. I look at a bowl of sketty, which, for anyone who has blocked it out, is just boiled noodles mixed with an entire tub of country crock butter and a bottle of ketchup microwaved into a neon paste, and all I see is enamel erosion.
It is a cultural reset.
I see immediate arterial blockages. I am horrified on a cellular level, yet analytically fascinated that the human digestive tract can process that much microwave margarine.
I will always defend the chaotic impact of sketty on reality TV, but yes, we decided to elevate the experience tonight with our pasta, and it hit the spot.
Our digestive systems will thank us tomorrow.
Okay, babes, the weekend energy is here. The food was amazing, the drinks are hitting, and honestly, it's time to get into the mess.
Crack your knuckles. Let's dissect this disaster.
We watched Season 8, Episode 8, called Could You Marry Us? And we absolutely need to discuss this mess with the Snark Squad.
My notes for this drop look like the frantic scribblings of a conspiracy theorist.
It is wild. Okay, let's start with the wedding hijack. Because the narcissism on display here it's truly something that needs a medical study.
It is a masterclass in coercive control masquerading as Southern hospitality.
So Jessica and Cheyenne are planning their wedding. And at first, they're looking at this cute barn venue, very rustic, mason jars, low-key vibes.
Very standard Pinterest wedding.
Right. But then they have this realization. They know Mama June has the money, but she will only write a check if she gets exactly what she wants.
And what June wants is absolute control. And Panama City Beach.
Yes. PCB is her entire personality. So Jessica literally says in a confessional that if they pivot to the beach, they can, quote-unquote, pony mom in to pay for it. They are actively strategizing to manipulate the master manipulator.
Which I respect the hustle. I really do. You want a $40,000 wedding in this economy, you play the board. But the second you take a dime from someone with June's psychological profile, you hand over your autonomy. The house always wins.
And we see that immediately. They pitch it at Sunday dinner. They're fluffing her ego so hard. Like, oh, Mama, your wedding was so beautiful. We want a beach wedding just like yours.
And she eats it up. She completely transforms into a dictator wedding planner.
She calls her planner, Edie, right there at the table on speakerphone. And she's like, do you have availability? And Edie says she has an opening in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Planning a destination wedding for a massive, uncooperative family in 14 days is an act of logistical violence.
Seriously. But June just books it, and then here comes the twist that made my jaw literally drop. June gathers everyone around and says she rented a house for the wedding. But babes, it is not on the beach.
Not even close.
It is on a lake dock. Jessica's like, wait, it's not a beach? And June deadpan says, it's the Lake of Panama City. It's 8 minutes from the beach. Babes, 8 minutes in a car is the mainland.
There is a vast atmospheric difference between the crashing waves of the Gulf of Mexico and the stagnant, mosquito-infested water of an inland Florida swamp dock. You are risking an alligator interrupting the vows.
I was screaming at the TV, and June's defense is wild. She says, beggars cannot be choosers. About her own daughter's wedding.
This is exactly how she operates. She offers this grand financial gesture, but the ironclad contract is that she centers herself. It's no longer about Jessica. It's about June throwing a party and cutting corners to save a buck while looking like a hero on camera.
It's so toxic. And let's talk about the house. It's 5 bedrooms, which sounds big, but not for this family, because June decides that Trina Cheyenne's mom is going to sleep in a bunk bed.
The sheer, calculated disrespect of the bunk bed assignment.
Like, honestly, we don't even like Trina. The Snark Squad does not like Trina. She complains about everything.
Yeah.
But babes, you do not put a grown woman with bad knees in a child's top bunk.
It's a territorial power move. June is establishing dominance over her paid-for kingdom by sticking the other mother-in-law in the peasant quarters. She's daring Trina to start a fight so June can play the victim.
Exactly. And Trina obviously bows up and says she's not sleeping in no bunk bed. It's a pressure cooker.
And amidst all this logistical chaos, we get the cake tasting scene, which was a fever dream.
Oh my God, the cake tasting with John. They are sitting there with these massive slabs of cake, red velvet, Boston cream, and this quote-unquote Amarillo cake.
I assume they meant amaretto, but I fully believe that Baker invented a yellow cake named after a city in Texas.
I wouldn't put it past them. And Jessica and Cheyenne are just unhinging their jaws, shoveling this cake in. Jessica literally takes a bite directly off Cheyenne's slice.
Which is the most relatable she has ever been. Free wedding cake. I am analyzing the crumb structure until the plate is clean.
But June is sitting there looking horrified, like she's at a state dinner yelling at them not to eat half the cake. It's just another way for her to control them.
Right, because it's her cake guy, John. It's her connections, her territory.
Which brings us to the Officiant drama, because if we thought the venue was messy, the sister code violations are out of control.
The word violation feels like an understatement. It's a targeted emotional attack.
So Jessica needs an officiant for this rushed swamp wedding. And who does she choose? Josh. Pumpkin's estranged, bitter ex-husband.
The optics are staggering.
The lunch scene made my skin crawl. Pumpkin thinks she's meeting Jessica for a cute sister lunch. She walks in, and Josh is already sitting there at the table.
It was a highly coordinated, televised ambush.
You could see Pumpkin's soul leave her body. She explicitly says in a confessional that seeing Josh when she has a whole new man, Darrin, makes her uncomfortable. And Jessica just skips over all that and asks Josh to marry them.
Forcing your sister and her ex-husband to sit at the same table to plan your wedding is inherently hostile. Pumpkin is trying to establish post-divorce boundaries, and Jessica is just bulldozing them.
And Pumpkin is right. She says Jessica has no concept of sister code. But I have to ask you, is Jessica doing this because she really loves Josh's family? Or is she weaponizing him because she knows it will absolutely piss Mama June off?
Oh, it is 100% weaponized spite. Jessica knows June despises Josh. By making him the legal officiant, she is securing a human meat shield. If June tries to act out at the ceremony, Josh will aggressively push back because he has nothing to lose. He's doing it entirely despite June, and he even admits it.
It's a proxy war on a lake dock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the sanctity of the union.
It is so messy. And speaking of Josh being messy, we have to pivot to what is happening right now on the internet. Because if you thought the TV show was bad, the real-time internet tea is scalding.
He is in a public digital freefall.
Yes. Josh has been going on social media live streams complaining about his life, and he literally told thousands of people that he will never remarry.
Which contextually is devastating.
Because he currently lives with his new girlfriend, Brianna, and they just had a baby together, Sadie.
A profound lack of respect.
Babes, my heart breaks for Brianna. She looks so happy on her Instagram, trying to build a family, and her man is publicly broadcasting that he is settling for her while constantly obsessing over his ex-wife.
It's a textbook case of a man protecting his shattered ego. He's humiliated that Pumpkin left him so publicly, so he rushes into a new relationship to prove he's still desirable. But he hasn't done any internal healing, so now he's projecting all that bitter resentment onto Brianna.
Exactly, and the Reddit threads were destroying him. People were like, if my partner said that on a live stream, I would pack my bag so fast. And some people were accusing Brianna of baby trapping him.
Which is a deeply misogynistic deflection. Josh is an adult man who understands biology. He is not a victim of reproduction.
As someone on Reddit said, someone needs to buy Josh some condoms.
Or a billboard for a vasectomy clinic.
That comment took me out. But babes, the tea gets even darker. Because the rumors about why Pumpkin and Josh actually divorced are exploding online.
This adds a completely volatile layer to his bitterness.
Someone on Reddit linked this 2-hour YouTube breakdown and blessed the Snark Squad for doing the heavy lifting, but the alleged rumor is that Pumpkin cheated on Josh with a woman while he was out of town working.
And allegedly, this wasn't just a brief fling. The girlfriend was reportedly integrated into their lives and knew their oldest daughter.
Babes. If that is true, it completely shifts the dynamic. He's not just a guy who fell out of love. He's a guy who was profoundly betrayed and emasculated publicly.
It provides context for the wound, yes, but it does not excuse his current behavior. He is so consumed by his own betrayal that he is actively inflicting the same public humiliation onto his new partner. It's a cycle of hurt.
Hurt people really do hurt people. And speaking of cycles of hurt, we have to talk about the medical drama in this drop. Because this family takes medical manipulation to an unhinged level.
The CDC needs to study their approach to healthcare.
Okay, so Mama June is claiming she has all these severe symptoms, pain, feeling like she's having a stroke, and the doctors are testing her for autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis or lupus.
Serious, life-altering conditions that require board-certified rheumatologists.
Right, but June refuses to listen to actual doctors. She won't take the meds, she won't go to follow-ups. So what does her husband Justin do? He flies Alana, who is 19, and living in Colorado all the way to Georgia to be June's medical proxy.
Ah, yes, Nurse Thompson.
Because she's in a first-year nursing school prerequisite program, Justin literally says, you won't listen to doctors, but you'll listen to Alana.
The logic is terrifying.
Yeah.
A teenager taking Bio 101 is now overriding a team of specialists.
And the sheer irony of June demanding this care from Alana right now is making my blood boil, because this is happening right after the internet found out that June allegedly stole $35,000 from Alana's Coogan account.
The financial exploitation is staggering.
She stole her Honey Boo Boo child acting money. Babes, can you explain what a Coogan account actually is? Because people think Alana is a millionaire, but the reality is so dark.
Gladly, because the legal loopholes are infuriating. The Coogan Act mandates that an employer must set aside 15% of a child actor's gross earnings into a blocked trust that parents cannot touch until the child turns 18.
Wait, only 15%?
Exactly, which means the parents legally have access to the remaining 85% under the guise of using it for the child's living expenses or management fees.
How is that legal?
Because the laws in states like Georgia, where reality TV is heavily filmed, are incredibly loose. Reality stars were often classified as documentary subjects, not actors, stripping them of union protections. So June allegedly drained the available funds, and the accusation is that she even compromised the protected 15%.
She exploited her child, allegedly spent the money on her addictions, and now she's using her health to force that same child to fly back and hold her hand.
It's Munchausen by proxy dynamics blended with somatic symptom disorder. Whenever June feels her control slipping, like when her kids realize she stole from them, she suddenly manifests an acute medical crisis to force their compliance. She did the same thing with Anna's tragic cancer diagnosis. She exploits illness for screen time.
It is so dark. But the editors don't even let us sit with that because they drop the most terrifying cliffhanger in the last 30 seconds.
The tonal whiplash is intense.
June is sitting there, her phone rings, and we hear that Alana has been in a car wreck. She was pulling out of a driveway 23 hours away in Colorado and got hit on the driver's side. And June looks at the camera and says, I've already lost one daughter. I don't need to lose another. Cut to black.
A literal car crash used as a bumper for laundry detergent commercials.
How do producers justify filming that? And how is Alana, the youngest person, the most responsible adult, while literally bleeding in a car?
To the producers, it's just content. They monetize trauma. As for Alana, it's severe parentification. When your mother is an addict stealing your trust fund, and your sister is raising you while dealing with teen pregnancies, you don't get a childhood. You're forced to mature to survive.
Which brings us to the deepest part of this whole recap. The Snark Squad on Reddit laid out this family's generational trauma, and it blew my mind.
It is a blueprint of systemic dysfunction.
It goes all the way back. Dodo raising June because their mother was chasing toxic men. Then June has teen pregnancies and chases loser men, abandoning her kids. Pumpkin raises Alana. It is an identical cycle. Sisters raising sisters while the mothers pick men over their children.
The chronic prioritization of abusive or useless men over the safety of the children is a compulsion in this family.
The loser men. June chose Jano over Alana. Pumpkin chose Josh. And now Alana fled to Colorado. But she took Drano with her, an older guy with a mugshot. So my question is Alana actually breaking the cycle by moving, or did she just pack the trauma in a U-Haul?
It's mostly the latter. Getting geographic distance is a great first step, but trauma doesn't respect state lines. You can't outdrive a psychological pattern. She is still with an older man playing the responsible caretaker role. Unless she gets intensive trauma therapy, the cycle will just spin its wheels in the Colorado snow.
Wow, you can't outdrive it. That is so heavy, but so true.
And the chronic stress that environment literally alters the body, which explains the constant autoimmune issues in the family. The body keeps the score.
It really makes you look past the sketty and the bunk beds and see the profound sadness. But because we have to survive this recap, it is time for our segments.
Let's bring some levity back before we spiral.
Welcome to segment 1, Family Group Chat from Hell.
The digital epicenter of the chaos.
We are acting out the text thread the morning after June announced the Lake Dock wedding. I'm going to be Trina, typing in all caps. Excuse me, why is there a literal bunk bed in the guest room? Am I supposed to climb a ladder with my bad knees? I will sleep in my car before I sleep on a top bunk.
And I will be June, who only communicates via aggressive 3-minute voice notes while driving.
Yeah.
Listen here, Trina. I am writing a $40,000 check. Beggars cannot be choosers. You can sleep on the sofa couch or get a hotel. Do not test me. My lupus is flaring up.
Using the lupus in the group chat, I'm screaming. Okay, I'm Jessica, trying to be toxically positive. Guys, love wins. Let's just focus on the Amarillo kick.
And Pumpkin just sends a single side-eye emoji, screenshots the entire chat, and forwards it to Josh.
Exactly. Okay, segment 2. Damage control PR team.
Time to earn our retainer.
We are hired to fix Josh's image after his disastrous live stream. My strategy. Lean into the reality TV mess. We fake a huge, tear-jerking vow renewal with Brianna. We sell the photos to People magazine. We gaslight the public into thinking his live stream was just a moment of vulnerable fear, and her love saved him.
That is a deeply cynical, classic reality TV spin. It might buy you one rating cycle, but it's fundamentally rotten.
What's your strategy?
Draconian punishment.
Yeah.
First, I confiscate his phone. He is digitally grounded. Second, I buy him a billboard for a vasectomy clinic off the interstate.
A vasectomy billboard.
Don't be like Josh. Plan ahead.
Heh.
Then I issue a Notes app apology about seeking quiet reflection. But honestly, I would just quit. He's a liability who refuses to be managed. I'm keeping the retainer.
You are ruthless. Okay, segment 3. If this was our family, who are we in this dynamic?
I am the cynical aunt sitting in the dark corner with a large glass of dry red wine. I am not engaging in the screaming matches. I am just taking mental notes for a tell-all memoir to publish posthumously.
I love that. I am the dramatic cousin who lives out of state. I only show up for the free beach trip, drink all the alcohol, gasp at the drama, and take an Uber to the airport the second someone yells about a bunk bed. I am just there for the vibes.
A parasitic but highly entertaining existence. And how do we survive them day to day?
Strict physical boundaries. And we refuse to eat anything out of a slow cooker or a microwave in that house. No sketty. We're bringing our own snacks.
I will leave the second someone suggests matching burnt orange velour tracksuits for the wedding photos.
I am right behind you. Okay, final segment. Segment 4, chaos scale. We rank moments from 1 to 10. Let's start with the cake tasting.
That's a 2. Manageable. Eating free cake is iconic behavior.
Agreed. What about June booking the swamp dock instead of the beach and putting Trina in a bunk bed?
That's an 8. Red alert. It's a logistical nightmare and a calculated insult.
And finally, Jessica asking Josh to officiate the wedding to spite June.
That shatters the scale. That is an 11. Absolutely not. You are turning a legal ceremony into a proxy battleground for unresolved trauma. It's a revenge plot with floral arrangements.
A revenge plot with floral arrangements. That is the perfect summary. Babes, this was an absolute whirlwind of a recap. From the swamp wedding hijack, to Josh spiraling online, to the Coogan account theft, and the car crash cliffhanger.
It is a dense narrative of systemic failure.
It truly is. And Snark Squad, thank you so much for hanging out in the studio with us today. Your Reddit sleuthing fuels this show.
We appreciate your analytical contributions.
Please remember to subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and share this with your messiest friend. Next week, we'll see the fallout of Alana's crash and find out if Trina survives the bunk bed.
Or if she sets the house on fire.
Let's hope for the fire. But before you go into the weekend, we want to leave you with a final thought. When people on reality TV scream that they have changed, are they actually making decisions as healed people? Or is every single choice just a deeply ingrained, scripted trauma response that pays the bills?
Are they writing a new story? Or just reading the same damaged script with better lighting?
Exactly. Have the best weekend, babes. Stay messy, stay chaotic, and we will see you on the snark side.